So this is crystallized ginger, and you can see it comes in slices like this with sugar on it. So I'm just mincing some up. It can be very hot and spicy, so if you don't like hot and spicy, you might want to leave this out. But I think it makes a good addition. My favorite cookie lately are gingerbread cookies. And I got this recipe off of healthyrecipes.com. So here are the ingredients. We have 2 different containers of sugar. 1 cup will go into the cookie dough, and then the other 2 tablespoons will be after the dough is mixed up and we form the cookies into balls, then we'll roll them into the sugar. We have 3/4 of a cup of shortening. You can use margarine or butter. I'm trying to keep these dairy free, so I'm using Crisco. Some molasses. We have some ground cinnamon, ground cloves, ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, some salt, some baking soda. I am keeping it eggless as well, so you might want to use 1 egg, but I am using a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, and 2 tablespoons of water for my egg. 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I forgot to mention we have a tablespoon of water, and I have been trying these cookies with the crystallized ginger in them. Last time I made them, I used this. This obviously is an Arizona brand, but you can find crystallized ginger I think most places, and that's what it looks like. I have minced some up finely, and I don't know, that's probably 2 tablespoons. I may not use it all. If you don't like a lot of spice, you may want to leave that out. And it's an added expense, but I've just been playing around with it, and I like it. Okay, I'm going to start by adding 1 cup of white sugar. Three-quarters of a cup of shortening. You can add 3/4 of a cup of butter if you prefer, and that's softened. 1 egg, or I'm adding an egg substitute of 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of water, and 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. I'm just going to let these, just going to mix these ingredients up. going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Two teaspoons of ground ginger, 3/4 of a teaspoon ground cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, and 1 tablespoon of water. Quarter of a cup of molasses, and 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add some of the candied ginger, crystallized ginger. And just let that mix. Okay, so we're going to take our scoop. The recipe says to roll into walnut-sized balls. So I just use my cookie scoop, and it works out quite well. So we just roll these into balls, and then into the sugar, and onto an ungreased cookie sheet, and then flatten them down slightly. Two inches apart. Okay, I'm just going to flatten these down and put in a 350-degree oven for how long? 8 to 10 minutes. Now, if you wanted to, at this point, you didn't want to bake them off, you wanted to bake them at another time, you could put these in the freezer, and when they're frozen solid, put them into a Ziploc bag and then pull them out of the freezer when you're ready for them. Let them thaw for about 30 minutes maybe, and then bake them. 350, 8 to 10 minutes. These cooked for 8 minutes. And they smell good. They're so delicious. They're still kind of hot, so I'm going to let them cool. So here they are. They're soft and chewy and just so delicious.